Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Foster, and I'm Chair of the Board of Directors of Eastside Neighborhood Services.
Good evening. I'm Amal Kareem, and I'm a board member at Eastside Neighborhood Services.
I want to thank you all for joining us for our first annual Night at the Nick at Home. Here at Eastside, we want to be a place where we can all come together to learn from each other and heal together as neighbors.
3 years ago, we crafted a transformative vision with a new strategic plan. As part of that plan, we laid out the core priorities of our work. People have the stability they need to thrive. Families build foundations for healing and growth. Children and youth foster creativity and autonomy through educational pathways.
Older adults are valued, socially and intellectually engaged, and able to live in their community and homes. Community has a place to be, heal, and learn together.
Laying out these priorities has meant major shifts in the way we work. In the last 3 years, we have transformed our family healing program by integrating trauma-informed practices, supported the growth of parent leaders to organize and advocate for educational pathways, developed intergenerational approaches to engaging older adults and their families with caregiving services.
We brought staff together from all across our programs to do our own ongoing learning and healing.
This work has had its milestones. Just last year, we completely remodeled our childcare center, celebrated 70 years of Camp Bovie, and were able to stabilize funds for food programs thanks to the support of our community and county commissioners. But 2020 has brought one of our most challenging years yet. Tonight, we want to share with you how we are rallying together and learning from each other.
A global pandemic and racial justice uprising in our community has pushed us to go deeper into transformative relationships and join the changes being called for in Minneapolis.
To start, let's hear from Carolyn, a longtime Northeast resident and Eastside volunteer, about her perspective on how neighborhoods have transformed while she has lived here, as well as changes from this year.
Eastside Neighborhood Services is a multifaceted place. There's so many things going on here. And I've seen it for a place to refer people if they're looking for even like help for job connections, and some place to come and do something to help others. I have been aware of Eastside Neighborhood Services, of course, for a number of years, and through our church, we had come and volunteered at Christmas time with their Christmas store. And then I went to a training for a workshop, so I checked into it. And the Day Spot is a program that is a respite for the caregivers of people that have Alzheimer's and other dementias. We've been here to just be good companions with the residents, and we help them with the various activities. We do some socializing, play games, help them with lunch, and just kind of help them through the day. For myself, it's just a very satisfying thing to be able to help others. I also am working with the Faith Community Nurse Network and as a parish nurse through my church, and so it's just my passion to just continue that. And I've always been one to want to help people, to help meet their needs, to help educate them and their families, and that is just a very comforting thing for me to be able to continue to do that, even though I'm retired from my actual nursing job. So I just find a lot of satisfaction in being able to continue that mission that is part of my life.
Thank you, Carolyn, for your insightful story. Eastside was here for the last global pandemic as a fledgling organization in 1918. We've been here for 105 years, and we plan on being here supporting this community for another 100.
Since George Floyd's murder, we've continued to reflect and learn about ways we can transform and move outside the box of what has limited us in the past.
To be part of healing the deep-seated wound of racial injustice, organizations like ours need to move past just being a part of the community to truly being in the community. Although we have organizational power, that doesn't mean we always know what's best. We need to elevate and learn from leaders in our communities and programs.
Our role is to do everything we can to lift up the solutions our community members have already found. Let's hear from Anissa, whose children have participated in our youth programs and Camp Bovie for years. Anissa has taken on a leadership role as a parent organizer, co-creating our program design and approach.
My name is Anissa Ali. I'm a mother of two. My son Ahmed is 12 years old. He is gonna be 7th grade. My daughter Asha is gonna be 8 next month. I was working at a Head Start program, and then I get to meet some of the staff from Eastside Neighborhood Service that provide out-of-school programming over there. So I start talking to some of the families that I work with that had children that were going to the Minneapolis Public School, connect them with, hey, do you have any plans for your kids for the summer? And when they say no, and then I'll say, oh, you should check out, Eastside Summer Program. So that's how I initially got connected. Ever since then, it was a part of my own community. Healing means to me a way of looking at your own personal struggles and your own personal trauma. And all of us, we're all different, but we don't have the same struggles. I really made a proactive approach on healing when I personally went through a divorce, and I got divorced, and my son was 5 years old, and he was having hard time with the transition. So I got connected with Eastside Neighborhood Services, and I talked to actually the after school program manager at that time, and I said, hey, what other services are out there? And they connected me with Miss Talia, who became my son's therapist at that time, and creative art therapist. I didn't even know there was such a thing, which is a wonderful thing. I actually recommend that to quite a lot of families that have young children. One of the reasons why I got involved, it's because I did sense that this was also helping other parents, come together, talk together, become a community. I think that is very honoring, and it's also healing for me too, to see, somebody else making, getting the aha, connecting, and at the end of the session saying, when I came here, I didn't have this expectation. I didn't think I was gonna share, but, and they're not feeling ashamed, and they're sharing really, really deep, emotional, intimate stuff. And that's one of the reasons why I got interested in the parent-to-parent, because not only do I wanna heal myself, I also wanna be a part of the community healing, So myself and two other parents got together, and we sat with the Eastside Neighborhood Services staff, and they said, hey, we wanna do a workshops, but we wanna kinda, see what you guys think. What are some of the barriers or some of the issues that you see as a parent, like a disconnect with the school district, and do families feel welcome when they go to their school? So we talked about that. So with that focus group, we were able to share our own experiences, but also share with those that we connect with, the families that we talk with, because myself, I'm from East African background, and then there's Sarah, she's African American, and then another Sarah, she's Native. So we're all so different, but yet we share the same struggles, the same problems. We had a meeting where we invited a couple of families that were interested, and we had an open session where we gave a survey based on the information that we gathered. We were able to draft, another meeting and then another. So it went on from there. Eastside Neighborhood Services is like a hidden treasure. It's like in the middle of the community. There's so many services here. There's so many resources here. But for parents who have children, the summer Camp Bovie is amazing. The out-of-school program is really amazing. There's so many things, the parent-to-parent program. So I would say it's a hidden treasure.
Thank you, Anissa. As we work to shape our collective future, we know we have the right people on our journey. Just listen to the amazing words of our staff about the transformation they hope to be part of at Eastside.
All senior citizens matter with CSEP, a place where we are not excluded, but included.
The transformation that I'm trying to be a part of at Eastside involves looking at community members as whole beings, not just statistics or numbers. They are grandparents, students, activists, crafters who have so many different stories to share, and Eastside provides a space for everyone to paint their own pictures.
Hi everybody, I'm Ayenga Bokamba. I am the director of Menlo Park Academy, this beautiful school behind you. And this year, the transformation I'm going to be a part of is moving school outdoors. As you know, we are not gathering students in buildings this year. So those of us who are leaders have to be really creative about creating community and a container for people to feel welcome, and a way to welcome the students back for the school year, and a way for us to kind of just reform our community after this long summer and the beginning of the pandemic. And we're all now really excited about how to build that community. So the excitement for me is that I'm going to be using art and sculpture and the garden and all of my partnerships with MCAD and like neighborhood artists. I'm one of them, and really invite students into creating the community and the world that they want to see. That is the excitement that's going on in my world.
My name is Carmel, and I'm with the Vital Living program, and the transformation I would like to be a part of with Eastside is a hopeful one. The kind of hope where we let people know that we'll be there for you. A place of healing, and not just a place, but a people, a community that will be able to do the things that we promised to do, and everything else, all our other hopes and aspirations in the future as well.
I want to give a special thanks to all of the staff of Eastside for their commitment and flexibility through these incredibly challenging times. You've heard from a volunteer, a parent leader, and many of our staff. As we draw to the end, I want to be really clear. We don't know what's coming in the next year. Like you, we are expecting a challenging winter.
The pandemic is a true community challenge. From older adults isolating at home, to parents trying to find learning opportunities for their children, to people looking to find a new job.
Nobody is free of the impact. And yet we know this is hitting Black people, Indigenous people, and people of color in our community the hardest. COVID-19 affects us all, but it doesn't affect us all equally. To transform to meet these collective needs, to truly promote resiliency and healing in a difficult moment,
we need everyone to bring their own gifts, to share your resources, to give with joy and an understanding of community abundance, to imagine a future with us that includes everyone. Let's hear from one of our sponsors tonight, who are Northeast residents and business owners, about how they brought their community together to support Eastside.
I started Dogs of Instagram in 2011 as a fun project on a brand new platform. 10 days later, Ashley and I met, and we started hanging out and working on Dogs of Instagram. Fast forward 9+ years, we're now married, 2 children, are still working together on Dogs of Instagram, but have since left our full-time jobs and started another business called Lucy & Co., which is a direct-to-consumer pet brand that's based right here in Northeast Minneapolis.
As we started to get to know this neighborhood in chatting with neighbors and going into businesses around the neighborhood, Eastside Neighborhood Services just kept coming up in conversation more and more frequently, and we realized it was one of the subtle and silent pillars of the community that had a hand in everything.
Back in April, the global pandemic was raging on, and we started to realize that it was probably here to stay for a little while. And around the same time, our government and experts and officials were starting to talk about, hey, people should probably wear face coverings and masks when going out in public. And we were all for anything that would slow down the spread of this virus. And so, like a lot of other businesses, we decided we wanted to join the national mask making effort. Now, we were already making these beautiful dog bandanas out of cotton fabric right here in Minneapolis. And we realized that we could use the scraps, the extra scraps that were being thrown away when we make our bandanas, to make masks for humans. It didn't feel right really for us profiting off these masks. So we decided to turn that project into a fundraising effort. And we identified Eastside Neighborhood Services as this great organization that could do the work that we thought we'd like to see happen. They bought up our entire first run of masks within 24 hours of us launching them on the site. And we're very proud of our online community, one, for wearing masks, and two, for not just having this love and compassion for pets, but also having that desire to help their fellow humans as well.
It was important to us to give back in our own backyard. And so when we started to think about the different ways that we could give back, we were looking for an organization that could do this immediately and the most impactfully. And one thing that we loved about Eastside was that they serve neighbors in so many different ways. We feel so fortunate to be a part of this vibrant community, and we're seeing so many wonderful and positive new things happen here. But what's really cool is that there are these deep community roots that have existed long before Ahmed and I entered into this community, and we just feel really, really fortunate that we've been embraced and get to be a part of that network of humans and the infrastructure of neighborhood services that exist here.
Thanks, Ahmed and Ashley. The next year will bring a lot of challenges. We will need funding and volunteers to make sure our food programs can support our community members. We'll need resources to try out new approaches to youth learning and job training.
We will need people willing to call and talk to folks stuck at home. We need everyone to chip in what they can, because we are all in this together. Let us hear from Christine Martin, Eastside's president, as we wrap up this program tonight. Thank you.
Good evening. We're coming to the end of the night, and I don't know about you, but my heart is full of joy. And I am so grateful to be surrounded by community partners and donors who believe as we do that every person thrives, and that solutions to difficult social issues are best achieved by collective voice. To Ahmed and Ashley, thank you. You are the quintessential partners, stepping up to lead as community members. Their story highlights what we want to ask you. We don't know what next year will bring, but we do know that in order to heal together in the face of whatever comes, we need each of you to join in as leaders, bringing your own strengths. Our community does better when we all come together with humility and the goal of transformation. Everyone has different resources and assets and perspectives. I've been so inspired by hearing the ways Carolyn and Anissa, Ashley and Ahmed have brought their own assets and strengths to lead. Their stories, your stories, and the thousands of other stories that make up Eastside community are the basis for hope and healing and resiliency we can continue to build together. We believe that every voice matters in the pursuit of racial justice and healing. There is more work to do, but with all of you, I'm so excited about the possibilities for change the next year could bring. We are sincerely grateful for our sponsors and for those of you who purchased tickets for tonight. You've helped us get halfway to our goal. I'm excited to announce tonight that we have a $15,000 match from a generous group of donors. That means that all gifts given this evening will be matched dollar for dollar. Our goal tonight is to raise $50,000 through this event to make this vision of community healing a reality. I'd like to invite you to make your donation now by going to esns.org/donate. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for supporting our local business partners, Centro, Jack's Cafe, Hi, the Food Building, and Kieran's Kitchen, Tattersall Distillery, and Central Liquors. Thank you for being a part of a vibrant community that is Eastside Neighborhood Services. Good night.